Welcome to our backyard garden. My name's Stacy. We live in New Orleans, and after watching several videos on how to do a garden, I decided maybe I should share ours. Just to let everybody know, it doesn't have to be super organized, and it's a process, and it's our first time trying this. We got an idea to try it. It started out with a few plants, and now it's blossomed into taking over our entire backyard. Right now we're looking at my two blackberry bushes that we have. One is an Arapaho on the left and one is an Apache on the right, and my husband actually named them after my daughter and I, so that's Stacy on the left and Amanda on the right. But we've started our own garden, and we're doing everything we can to make it as sustainable and as organic as possible. We're using a lot of repurposed items, and we're just doing the best we can to see what we end up with, and we're excited to see the results. We started our own compost pile, which I laugh all the time and think it looks like the garbage heap off of Fraggle Rock. But as you can see, we're in the middle of cutting down our oak tree to allow more light. So it's a work in progress. It's a pretty big tree, so we're working on it to cut it down because it was basically smothering our backyard. Over here is our Satsuma tree. It's a very large citrus tree. We'll get Satsumas in October. In case you've never had a Satsuma, it's kind of similar to a tangerine or cutie. It's easy peel, little orange, sweet. We get an enormous amount of them. And to the right of that tree, we also have a Louisiana navel. These will come in around Thanksgiving. Between the two trees, we end up with so many oranges that it's impossible to use them all. We give them to as many people as we can. We make a lot of juice with them. I personally love a good mimosa with some fresh squeezed juice, but that's just me. Now, over here is where the fun starts. Now, you notice all the cardboard on the ground. That's our attempts to kill off the grass. Because we do live in such a wet climate, it rains so much in New Orleans, and our yard actually has a lot of runoff from other people's yards, so our yard tends to hold water. All of the flower beds that we put in have to be raised. So to help with that, we're killing off the grass so it's easier to get it out of the way and build the bed. This is our first raised bed, and it was built with reclaimed lumber. My husband's in construction, so we have a lot of repurposed items from things. But in this bed we have tomatoes, we have cucumbers, yellow squash, red onions, bell peppers, and eggplants. Everything in this bed was grown from seeds, except for our 3 eggplant bushes, which we have one there, one here, and then we have one red bell pepper bush. But everything else was grown from seeds. We did it ourselves. We actually used egg cartons to start the seedlings, and then when they got big enough, we transplanted them. This is all organic. We haven't used any pesticides. We haven't used any chemical fertilizers or anything. So we're pretty hopeful to see how it comes out. Now, as far as tomatoes, we have about 35 to 40 tomato plants at this point. They're beefsteak tomatoes, which are common to the south. So we're just kind of curious to see how it all turns out. We're also trying Epsom salt. We've heard a lot of good things. So we Epsom salted all of our tomatoes and peppers. You mix 2 teaspoons to a gallon of warm water. That's Drago. He wanted to make his YouTube debut as well. But we tried. We did it to all of our tomatoes except for this little guy on the left. And I'm going to kind of do an experiment and see how he goes in comparison to the rest. Just to see. We saw a lot of videos where they seem to do really well, so we tried it, but I just kind of wanted to see what would happen if we didn't do it to one and it lived in the same conditions. So anyway, back to our garden. Climb over some of these limbs holding our cardboard boxes down. We decided to plant corn. Now, we did plant this straight into the ground, so I'm a little concerned if there's too much rain that it might get flooded, but we did build it up a little bit, so I hope that these go well. I'm pretty excited about the corn because it's getting really big and so impressive because it started out just from a little kernel. We do have these avocado trees that his mom got us. One's a Mexicala on the right, and there's a poncho on the left. I don't know a whole lot about the trees. I don't mess with the trees. I mostly take care of the smaller plants. Trees are pretty much his thing. But this is our other raised bed. We do have tomatoes all in the front, and there's yellow bell peppers in the back. Now, on the left in the back is a Creole tomato, which are used a lot in New Orleans. And I'm really excited about it. But we only have one, but it's pretty big. We did buy this one. The rest of our tomatoes are from seeds, but this was one I purchased at the grocery store just on a whim to see how it would do. Um, this raised bed was actually built with used closet doors that my husband got from a renovation job. We put a little bit of paint on them that we had at home, and he put them together for me, and it's pretty great. Um, Now the dirt, we did buy dirt. We got it from a local company that you go pick it up in your truck, and it was $25 a yard. So there's been lots of wheelbarrowing, so that's been great and entertaining. It was fun first, and then it got a little old. But now here's where all the craziness starts. We have all these planting cups back here and our planting stations. As you can see, we've been using solo cups and chicken containers and ice cream containers to start our seedlings, and then transferring them to other things. But I know it looks pretty crazy, but we're actually pretty proud of it. This is all stuff that's been taken out of recycle bins, and so there's a lot of repurposing here. There's a lot of reusing. A lot of our seeds came from fruit that we had at home, and things that we would have just thrown out normally. But we also have fig trees. My husband was obsessed with getting fig trees, so we have a LSU gold fig tree right here and an LSU purple fig tree because we are huge LSU fans, huge fans of the SEC. So definitely go Tigers. So we're really excited to see what they come out like and what it looks like. So we have these, but we also have a planting over here that he took from a tree. It started out as a twig, and he did this, and I didn't think it would turn into anything. So every day when I see this, I'm super impressed that he did it because I didn't think it would happen. Oh, Drago! I wanted his close up. So and the last thing we have is over here is plenty and plenty of solo cups and cups filled with different seeds. These seeds are from papayas that we just ate, and what's really cool about all this gardening is that these are things we would have just eaten anyway and thrown away the seeds, so instead we're planting them and see what happens. And then we're putting the skin in the compost pile, and we're showing our kids that you can grow things and just teaching them about reuse and all kind of different things. So basically anything in my house right now ends up out here to use for the gardening. But so as you can see, it's pretty crazy what's going on around here. But hopefully in the end, we're going to have a bunch of raised beds and some pea gravel paths for our 2 dogs, our 2 kids, for us. Anybody has any tips or hints or anything that they want to let me know how to do stuff, it would be great to get it from y'all and learn. Just leave them in the comments. Let me know. Give me some likes because I'm trying this out too. Let me know what you think. Thanks.